What's up guys, this is Macintosh Plus 1MB back with another video. Recently, Mac collecting has gotten increasingly popular as a hobby. More and more people are purchasing old and new Apple products from websites such as Craigslist, eBay, and more. YouTubers are documenting their finds often, and it begs the question, how, when, and why exactly did this hobby become so popular so quickly? Luckily, the Spike 3000 and MacCollectorZ are here to help explain.
As you probably already know, Mac collecting is a fairly well-known hobby nowadays. However, just 8 or 9 years back, it wasn't as widespread. In 2008, 2007, or earlier, the idea of collecting Macs was a much smaller hobby as opposed to today. It still interested a small crowd, and classic Macs could be had from eBay, Craigslist, or even things like yard or garage sales if you were lucky. Some of the main reasons Mac collecting sparked interest in collectors include the fact that these computers are very unique and very iconic. The majority of Macs release features some type of innovation unmatched by other computer companies. Some examples of this innovation include, most notably, the Macintosh 128K, which debuted with a graphical user interface and a mouse. The Apple release has shared these two innovations, but was ultimately a failure and wasn't part of the Macintosh lineup. The original Mac is exceptionally iconic and easily considered a piece of history. So now that it's apparent why Macs are collected, the main question still stands. What made the hobby so much more popular nowadays? Many things had an influence on this hobby. One of the most notable influences is YouTube. The death of Steve Jobs may have also both directly and indirectly influenced collecting. Indirectly being that YouTube searches for Steve Jobs may have brought up results or related videos of Mac collections. His death may have also simply increased the desire for Macs directly. Some bigger Mac collectors on YouTube include V Westlife with nearly 35,000 subscribers, Computer Clan with well over 58,000 subscribers, and Matthew Pierce, who has over 127,000 subscribers.
As a result, the perceived values of these computers have skyrocketed, since sellers have taken note and feel that everyone is going to be after what they have. And of course, the later death of Steve Jobs in 2011 and the 30th birthday of the original Macintosh in 2014 did a great deal to exacerbate this whole thing. These non-collectors, as I call them, usually lack the knowledge necessary to judge the computer's actual worth. Some of them even add in the name Steve Jobs to their listings in order to create some appeal, when ironically some of the items that these people sell were released while Steve Jobs wasn't even present at Apple Incorporated. A great example of a Mac whose perceived value has skyrocketed is the iMac G3. Now, in actuality, this machine is still more or less at rock bottom value, save for some of the very rare models. However, within the last few years, their value as collector's items has prematurely gone up. Of course, one can still obtain plenty of these machines for cheap, I know I did, but just take a look at some of the eBay listings I've seen for these iMac G3s, as well as for other Apple machines. It brings out the cringe in me. What also gets sellers excited is when they find a particularly inconsequential item that happens to be in its original packaging, whether that be factory sealed or simply accompanied by the box. I've seen plenty of these. In fact, I own some of these items that are accompanied by their boxes. Cool and interesting, but not as valuable as many think. If they have any other special accessories, the sellers bump up the value of the item. In fact, if the product is rare enough, simply because not many survived, it will automatically receive a huge sticker price, even if the actual product is nothing special and was rightfully considered a piece of junk in its day. There are plenty of beige 1990s Macs that fit this category of worthless machines that are now rare. It is often insulting and cringeworthy when I find a product whose value has been heightened by non-collectors. In reality, while a special machine, the original Macintosh is probably not worth more than around $200 with a few accessories. However, in reality, on eBay, you'll see that a Mac that includes a few accessories will be as much as $800, and one that includes a lot or all the accessories can be as much as $3,000 as its listing value. In fact, the original Macintosh, which is a beige box but is way more special than the 1990s machines, is an example of a machine whose value has completely gone out of control. Because the original Macintosh was a special computer and is considered vintage classic, later versions of the Macintosh, such as the Macintosh Classic, have had their values or perceived values go up as well. In reality, a Macintosh Classic is not a very special computer, and I'm actually expecting that an iMac G3 of a more rare color will surpass the Macintosh Classic in value. However, the Macintosh Classic is still seeing higher prices than it should on eBay. I have seen Macintosh Classics listed for around $200, which is a lot to ask for such an inconsequential and boring machine.
Thank you for watching the video. Let us know down in the comments if you have noticed a spike in interest in this hobby as well. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like. If you want to see more, subscribe to me, MacCollectorZ, and the Spike 3000. Once again, thank you for watching.